the hurt breeds berserk. I would like to welcome all to this hall of stain, where we salute who stood tall, whether blood or cuss. Boosts closed out the mall, drug dealers are fiends, strippers and hood entrepreneurs. We them ghetto stars. I know generals with scars. They gon' tell us about their life and try to guide you through yours. Ace Coney on the beat, soldiers smooth hit record. Where we live by the gun, try not to die by the sword. We them ghetto stars.
Ghetto Starz.
Welcome back to another episode of GhettoStarzPodcast. I'm your host, Bazurke. Right here, I'm with a legendary man. Not only a legendary Brooklyn man, a legendary New York City man, Mr. Motherfucking Bad Vibes OG, triple OG Bad Vibes right here. Non-Trey Gangsta.
Brooklyn, I'm from here, born and raised in Brooklyn. Not necessarily where we at right now, Coney,
Franklin Avenue, no doubt.
Yeah, shout out to Franklin Avenue.
Shout out. You already know, Crown Heights, man. Without a doubt. Oh, you got any siblings?
Yeah. I got a brother and I got a sister. My brother's deceased, my sister's still here. Actually, I got a twin sister.
Well, sorry to hear about your brother, man. If you don't mind telling us, where are your family, where your parents hail from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn,
Everybody
New York,
from Brooklyn Bay.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's Brooklyn for real.
So Brooklyn.
Yeah, no doubt. You usually hear about the parents coming from down south and moving up. It was like that already. It was up here.
Long before I got here.
That's what's up.
Right.
So Brooklyn, Crown Heights is where the story starts off for you. Which schools did you attend?
I went to PHP 16 in my neighborhood of Crown Heights. Then I went to Lefferts in Flatbush. And then from there I went to like 600 school for like, kids that know how to behave. I went to Sterling High downtown.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a bad school.
It's a bad school, like an alternative school they call it.
Alternative, not to better school or worse school, alternative prison.
Oh, shit.
That was training you right there, like locking you into school or something.
Damn.
So trying to get some type of sense of control.
Right.
That didn't work.
Yeah,
Always found a way out.
Always found a way out. So you say that you drifted to the streets at an early age.
Yeah, very early.
About like how long, like what age would you say that you were when you realized that, I gotta get it how I live out here, really had started getting into the life of crime or whatnot?
14.
14.
That 14, that's my mom's went back to that. My mom's passed away. This life just became what it was.
Absolutely, man. Damn. Sorry to hear that.
But it's different between saying it and living it. A lot of people say, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, but that's not what they really mean. That's not what they really say.
True.
Versus me, when I said it, I meant it. And I lived it. It was a rough ride.
No doubt. So, I say that took a turn for you going behind the wall. How old were you when you first got incarcerated?
16.
16?
16. You never stopped ever since.
Damn.
16, every year, every month. I never lasted 3 months going free.
Since 16?
16.
Fuck.
It's like I'll be home for 3 months, 2, 3, 4 months, back in the house. 2, 3, 4 months, back in the house. That's the longest I've been free since I've been out now, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years you've been home. Damn. So you went in at 16, did you see a lot of guys that you knew from the neighborhood? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. In Brooklyn, we go hard. We everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. A lot of good ones, too.
A lot of
still
good
standing to this day, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what about the guys that you grew up with back then? Is a lot of them still around, or? Nah. Gone. Damn, man. Yeah, that's rough, I could definitely...
Especially we talk about, coming of age. Not like we talk coming of age with music ever now. Talk coming of age with crack era.
Damn, so crack era. I wanted to get to that, man. When they came down to...
Yeah, man, I'm downstairs.
When it came down to...
Okay, I'm on
that
live.
stuff.
Live, okay.
when it came down to that stuff, that that crack cocaine, how old were you when you realized that stuff was hitting the street?
12.
About 12. Damn.
Yeah, 12. And me just reflecting on that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
12, because I look at a 12-year-old, that might be a 12-year-old right there. To have her know about crack cocaine. But that's different knowing about crack cocaine, say, in that time versus on what now. That's the peak crack era in the epidemic. It was very nasty.
Very nasty.
Because it didn't discriminate against the victim. Either you ate off it or it ate you. Or at some point in time, while you eating off it, it will eventually eat you. That whole don't get high of your own supply. It wasn't too many that afford that battle alone.
Damn.
So yeah, a lot of big willies and king dudes that was getting a lot of money back then versus what I'm trying to crack.
Living and dabbing.
Living and dabbing to this day. They once was, and they are today.
Yeah.
It's older and gray.
Right. Man.
But touched a lot of significant money.
Yeah, that brought a lot of fortune though.
Yeah.
A lot of heartache and fortune.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I know, I wasn't of age to, well, honestly, I still reap the benefits of it, but I wasn't hands-on.
Right.
I was still a baby, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I could only imagine being in your early teens, how old before you started selling it? 12. Oh, so you didn't just find out about it when you was 12, you jumped in the field.
Right.
Damn. Yeah.
It was so serious. First, I started like anybody, testing the field with little dummies.
Yeah.
With the dummies, I started getting a little bit. Next thing you know, it's off to the liberties.
True indeed. Man, so on an average night, back then when you was 12 years old, selling crack, how much would you come off with at 12?
We talking about back in that 12 years old, so like,
yeah.
About mid-80s back then, see? You gotta grind out a lot. Back then. The value of the dollar is different.
True indeed. That's $300 for a 12-year-old back then was still a whole lot of motherfucking cash. Shit.
Even if you made half of that the day, that was a pretty lot of money.
Grown men make $100 almost $100 a day today.
We talking about back in the time when Lucy was like 10 cents.
10 cents, right.
Yeah, we talking about when soda was 75
25
cents, 25 cents, 50 cents.
Yeah.
So it was like
payphones and shit.
Was a dime. Then it went to a quarter.
Oh man, good days.
Back when they had the tokens instead of Metro and all this other stuff they got, it was a token with the New York emblem inscripted in it.
Yes, sir. I remember those days. Definitely.
New York in the early 80s.
Oh yeah, it was a place to be. Everybody wanted to be in New York at that time. Still do.
They still do.
New
York be calling. They coming.
Right.
Beautiful
Absolutely.
city here.
Trendsetters,
Very
front
beautiful.
line. But man, so 16 years old, go on the island, in and out the spot. Did you continue school, or did you just give it up altogether?
Nah, I abandoned school.
No doubt.
Once I started going in and out the penitentiary, that's a penitentiary, that's jail. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But once I was going in and out of the penitentiary, my attendance fell so low, it's like, it is what it was.
Like, fuck it. It is what it is. So
I was like, schoolwork and curriculum, that was a threat to me. I was just studying, very intelligent and strong.
no doubt.
Yeah, but it was just behavior, fights, attendance.
Fights and attendance.
Then it's not me fighting, it's who I'm fighting, teachers.
Right. You going to
Bangers, we on the banging like
top dog.
Young and wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to banging class, depending on how the teacher, the instructor want to make the shit, depending if he gonna eat it or wear it, he don't push the table, banging pan.
Yeah.
School, going smacking shit out of the
Damn.
pan. In the little milks, the bacon class, they get the bacon. You can make the bacon little joint. Then they got the refrigerator with the milks. If you want to eat, they can smack them.
That's crazy, yo. Badass kid, man.
Yeah.
Lord, that's different. That's real different. Because you see, one thing about that time, do you miss anything back from that time of being in the school?
Yeah, I miss my innocence, my natural innocence back then.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So the whole thing about it is, now you already in the system, so ain't no turning back. You know what I mean? Ain't no turning back. So now that you in the system,
I got lost.
you got lost.
Found my way out. I literally was very alive in the system.
Damn.
Like currently, right now, if I was still in New York State prison system, I still should be in solitary confinement until 2022.
Fuck.
That's how much of a dictionary record in time and problem it was.
That's fucking nuts, man. I wanted to ask you this as well. Once you was already knee deep into your prison, state correction system. How old were you when you started viewing what we know today as the New York City ones?
How old was I?
Yeah, how old were you when you started noticing these guys popping up in the New York City, correction system? 21.
Yeah, because I called my sentence. I was just recently released from 2018. I was 21. They come on top of 46.
Damn.
No, 44.
44. Shit. 21, 44. How did you feel when you heard that you got that time? First got sentenced, what was going through your mind at that particular moment?
I said, looking back on that now in hindsight.
Yeah, like back then when you 21 and you in the spot, you like, damn, they hit you with all these years, man. At one time.
I had more than I lived.
Had more than you lived, right?
Max is 25 years. I was 21. In fact, I was 22 when I was laying up on the island. I caught a birthday, so I was 22. Facing 25. And they gave it to me. They gave it to me just so freely as a person to click on this interview right now. So click. That fast. Took my whole life away right there.
And could you elaborate on what happened to get that, or you want to leave that where it's at?
No. I can elaborate on what it take to get that. It's this. I was always, like I said, I didn't come from a home together.
Right.
No smooth, rough. Me being a product of my environment, from my home base, from where I come from, it's a lifestyle I chose to live. This little ill culture in the streets.
Yeah.
Ill culture. I got lost in that. Hurting people, booking people, whatever I thought it was a bag, which you identify today is, we call it bread and all that shit back then.
Right.
Wherever it was at, I was trying to get to it. And if you resisted or act like you thought when outcome was a game, it got very painful. But that's what got me 25 years ago. I was convicted at trial after I shot a Jamaican male on Lincoln and Notion. I caught him slipping. They had a weed gate they was bubbling. They used a little decoy and move shit around. I got a link on it. So I ran down the link, and he, when I came on him, I threw the drop on him. He tried to spin. He spin. I just gave it to him. Back then, if you used Mr. Book, I don't know what you were doing.
Right.
Like I said,
you could have clapped me, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you spin in the reach and then spin back and hit. I don't know what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But when he spin, that's the last thing he remembered. Pain as far as his body being in sync.
Yeah.
Game is
Game is
Unlike the daily newspaper said, they said I shot the guy 5 times. Even the parole papers and summaries in these comments or release reports and all that, they try to say I shot the person 5 times. That's incorrect. I'm the shooter. The truth lies with the shooter. I'm telling I shot the guy 3 times. But it's like, what's the difference between saying, okay, shoot the person 5 times and 3 times, when you got people that got your freedom in hand that say, listen, you shouldn't have shot him at all. So we get what you're saying. It wasn't as bad as the media and the Daily News depicted it, but you shouldn't have shot the dude at all. So it was like that argument fell on deaf ears. That's why they continued down the parole for 10 years. 2 years.
Damn. Did it ever get to a point where you felt like, damn, I ain't coming home?
I felt that like that a lot of times. And I wasn't alone. Like my brothers for real that was there, like in the struggle, that was grunting and going through the struggle with me in the trenches. It was definitely.
Damn.
You gotta realize the difference between being locked up or something. Any value to
just because they know.
See, a lot of people misrepresent life in real life time. A lot of people might say, okay, I ain't got this, I ain't got that, I'm living here, I'm living there, I ain't got this. Some people ain't wake up this morning, you did.
Some people ain't got no arms, legs.
Exactly, I'm about to say that too. You woke up this morning, you was able to move, stretch, go work out. Even if you decide to say, I'm not gonna work out, you got that option. You have people that woke up this morning thinking that, hold on, why I can't move, and start yelling and screaming, they can't move. So you gotta be grateful about the simple things.
Word, that's a fact, man, without a doubt.
It ain't what's large that matters, it's the small things.
Facts of life.
Especially for me, like through my experiences, just for me to walk from here to that rail in the Boardwalk and back, it means a lot to me. Because imagine not being able to walk from here to that Boardwalk and you live in a box. Say right here, 8x10 box, and you cannot go nowhere. Later for the Great China Wall, how about 4 walls encased in the wall, and you dead simple, you gotta live like that. No human contact. If it ain't paper, if it ain't written on paper, if it ain't coming through the visiting floor, no human contact.
That make me feel like everybody gave up on this shit. Man.
The despair is destructive. It can be destructive. The despair in there can be destructive if you don't know how to deliberate it. Because it gets, you gotta realize where you at, what you going through, then the other madness of prison. The racism from the officers, the inverted racism from the Spanish gangs and all this other stuff, and it's just too much.
So you have run-ins with the Spanish gangs when you first entered the island?
Absolutely.
Word?
Absolutely.
Man, 16. First, time on the island, you
The
already
Latin Kings and the Nietas, 2 well-known Spanish gangs that are in the streets of New York City. They're really all over. They all over. I'm saying just about the ones here in New York City.
Right.
It was very strong, brutal, and oppressive.
No doubt.
In the system. In the city system, which is Rikers Island, in the state. They were very oppressive, brutal, and racist.
Man.
Very.
Like that.
And they was able to succeed in their attacks against our color, against who we stand as black men. And they was able to do that just through the language barrier. Because they speak Spanish. So they will communicate or convey and understand what the order is or what's going on, what the underlying plan is. We're gonna win. Element of surprise.
True.
The person can't say nothing to a person. To me at the end of the day, I don't know what you're saying. Next thing you know, you beat me in my head, cut me in my face. I don't know.
Right.
And they had that system. They had a cycle of that cowardice system going around the system. Using language. They were sending hits on each other, on us rather. Just by a figure of the roll of their tongue with their language. What do they think? Boom, that's it. So imagine going up against a op or a Ricky or enemy. sound like our captives in history.
Yes, yeah.
That's why we speaking this, what we identify as English right now.
True.
This ain't our language. We original people. We don't speak this. So imagine speaking somebody's language, being at war with somebody else using language that you don't understand. Of course you're gonna win.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Set up the board, how you might set up the board, which we did, you still gonna lose.
True. The only thing left to do is attack viciously.
Yeah, clear war.
Yeah,
In the name of blood. Blood.
that's what it was. So, who was the first blood that you, that you were close to? Let's just say that. Anybody that you was close to that you knew was a blood, you wasn't into that. Or maybe you could have belonged to another gang before. Was you in another crew
That's a
before?
lot. When you say first, it's
Yeah.
like they try to slim it down, but it's a virus. It's a nice carriage radio.
No doubt. Were you in a crew before you decided to join the Bloods?
Yeah, I was in the 7th Coney.
The D7.
Yeah, I was in the D7.
No doubt. Yeah. That's a very infamous game.
And I'm still very close to attend events, family events.
Yeah.
They cut my career, but I'm still very tight with that.
No doubt, man. Shout out to the D-Seps, man. Word.
They know.
Word. So, boom, it's a few guys that you were tight with already that became dominoes. Who would you say was the one that not necessarily influenced you, but that person was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with him. 'Cause this my man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fuck with him. Other than the oppression coming from the Spanish gangs, what could you mention, or you don't want to mention what homie it was that influenced? Not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo,
if it's permissible, if the name want to be revealed, the name be revealed.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It was a guy.
Yeah. That was actually up here. It's my brother.
No doubt.
We know what we're talking about.
All right.
Way on the fire.
No doubt. And at that time,
CK was influential.
No doubt.
Wayno was influential.
No doubt.
A lot of them. Again, we got to realize a lot of us knew each other before blood was even
blood.
identified on this side of the story.
Right.
We always had a Brooklyn comradeship, or like comrades from in the P-Now system. You stand up, you stood firm, we rock with you, we ally, we fuck with you. Then eventually our friendships become bonds.
Yeah.
And they'll never be broken.
Absolutely.
Never.
Absolutely. Now, take me to the beginning of Genesis, man. 1993. The New York Bloods formed. A couple homies is around. They're kicking up dust. You're hearing about these guys. You know a few of them. Now, you jump on board. What sets you on, man? You jumped on board. Was it just still the New York Bees, or
Nah.
nah?
Nah, 93, I was already on another sentence doing the 2 to 6. For a crime I caught and made was decent. My loyalty was there. For the crime I went with 2 to 6. The year 1993, I was already upstate.
Yeah.
And again, I knew a lot of them from adolescent days and all this. I know a lot of, even from the streets of Brooklyn, a lot of them I know.
Right.
So it's like, when that wave came through, at first I still held firm. That's my story. I held firm, like, nah, I'm not with that.
Yeah.
He said, but y'all got my arm or war or whatever, I'm support you, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But after a while, start seeing how, cause it was a very messy war. It was like it's one-sided. We was giving it more so we was getting it too.
True.
It's definitely good. It ain't like we just,
Right, nothing was happening.
It was
Right.
nothing happening. So I decided to join my brother officially and turn blood
Under non-trade. Right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
96.
And 96.
Early 96.
So this time it was just spilling into the street. Or not yet. Was you hearing about it in the street around that time?
Yeah, it was just starting to trickle.
Yeah.
Not the drops, but it was a trickle Then came the droughts, then it came the flood, and then the you know, it was just over.
Right.
It was just paint the town red.
So 96, it was up and running a little bit now. So
no, 96 also brought forth a more solidified structure on revising things from what NYB was versus what UBN was going to become. They needed a structure.
Right.
And the structure was basically being put together piece by piece. Piece by piece, word by word, function by function.
No doubt. So by this time, 96, what other sets were around other than the non-trade gangsters?
Yeah, GKB. You can't mention non-trade without GKB.
No doubt.
There's no way you can't mention those. Is like the Batman and Robins. You know, you can't.
No doubt.
Like, you know, nine to the shine.
All the time, man. Forever, man.
GKB. You had the sanction of Sex Money Murder. Then in '96, you had Donald G was basically on a burner, waiting approval. You had Valentine. I mean, you had all the beauty of UBN City.
So,
yeah, with the exception of few sets that wasn't officially, you know, sanctioned and rotated on paper, circulated on paper.
Absolutely.
Because back then you didn't just get nothing because you just was popular. You had to earn.
Right.
Every stripe, every badge, every status, every whatever you had to earn it.
Earn that shit.
Even so simple, something so simple as a lingo code, a half a page of code, it wasn't given to you. You had to earn it.
Earn it. Word.
Right, in the first generation, respectfully earn what we earned. Second, third, we earn, going forward. But a lot of people took this and made it an only I don't know if it was personal game or gang or whatever it was. And it's about time for the healing of the station.
And the healing is coming from the elders like yourself and the shot quell. Shout out to Cole Reddy out there. He over in the cut.
But you know something that I told me, like, I heard this, matter of fact. I wasn't.
Yeah, talk about that eye, because that's a name that you don't really hear as much come up, you know?
Right.
What kind of guy was Dead Eye?
Dead Eye was Dead Eye.
Ya están mamá ya la semana que viene.
Yo, Dead Eye was just Dead Eye. He's militant and just Dead Eye. That's the best way we can describe it. There's no one like Dead Eye.
Word.
No.
Word.
But definitely, man. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Loyal to you, with you.
To your people, right.
He with you. He never got to doubt it.
For sure. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. You gotta count on good brothers like that.
Yeah.
You know, we might be terrible to the rest of the world, but we loyal to each other. You know
that's right. And that's all that matters. We all we got.
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
Yeah, but to get back to what I was saying, Dead Eye once said, and I silently agree with it, and I think a lot of us too. Dead Eye once said, when my name came in the midst of like some type of mediocre controversy, and everybody was like, just like now, everybody waiting to see how much Vibez know, what he know, or how much I reveal. I've never been a girly about it.
Right.
So being loud. My actions are more known than my voice and stuff like that. It was once told that I was like, listen, everything going on, especially when, you know, the rise and fall or the clashing of every big homie that went against each other, which I'm never afraid of.
Right.
Never. That's my history not saturated with us, me going against my own. I don't do that. The whole thing is, Dead Eye once said, listen, when it comes down to it, dudes should just leave Vibez out of the mix because he knows a lot that people be shocked with.
You the vault.
I mean,
the safety like, deposit box.
Right, same way like I've been all over and I see who is the apple in people's eye, like social media, even with blood history, you being history over here. And the questions come to me so innocently, and I ask you, like in my mind, I'm like, you're asking about a person who you look up to, you sure? You're talking about a person that me and him have starved together. We done shared a half pack of crackers during crunch time, wartime, in prison. You talking about a dude who I'll break half of my razor for and give it to him just so we can get busy.
Right.
But today, you know how people embrace him and accept him is different. To him, to them, they his hero. To me, that's my brother for real.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, people, I guess they say people grow, people change. You know what I'm saying? And all we can do is just remain true to ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Remember the way, man. Remember the way, man. That's it.
Word. And
not
like
Trey Way. I said remember the way, not Trey Way.
For sure. So I know that's a big thing. I know y'all. Sometimes I cringe at it too.
Yeah, I hear that shit. That shit get me, yo.
Yeah, I understand, yo.
Just that, yo.
I know what you mean, man. And free the guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of guys, the Billies, man, have to suffer because of this fuckboy. We ain't giving him no love. We ain't gonna speak on his name. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Got these guys, and the huge twist and got them taken away from their families.
They don't even know them. That's to show you how nasty the Lord. What type of connection do we gonna call them the Rainbow Clown? Right? What type of connection do the Rainbow Clown has to say Frank White, Uno B, Magoo, all of them people that was falsely charged under the federal statute of railroad? How is it a connection? You see what I'm saying?
Nowhere near.
It is nowhere near because you don't want to know what, brother? Me, Uno B, all of us, we have this Rainbow Clown birth date served in prison. So how did the government establish any type of what they call a prima facie case?
Right.
To say, okay, it's a connection of a criminal empire or a RICO statute. How? Frank White been in prison over 20. Frank White, all of them has been in prison over 20 years. The Rainbow Clown, right now, what is he, 22?
Something
5?
Like right.
We'll give him 7. You still wouldn't have been around us.
Definitely.
Would you stack the law and a conviction around that? Nah, I'm waiting for the appeal when it comes through.
Hell yeah.
I'm waiting for that appeal. I'm interested in that appeal. Because then again, you got this dude, he's a proactive snitch. Everybody he goes around, he just named the names, and I agree with a footage I seen, like he leaving it open for whoever else to come along and take a fall on that night. And look at the names he mentioned. Superstar, whether they on social media or superstar in the industry,
right.
whether they underground, whether they're across town or downtown. He's naming them.
Foul ass, slithery, snakeskin nigga, man.
It's nasty, man.
Yeah, super nasty, man. We off that clown though, free the guys though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Free the Billies,
man. Word up. Now, the war '96, I know it was already a crucial war by then, man. Let me see. Did you stay on the island around that time, or did you end up catching any charges behind the war that was taking place on the island?
Yeah, I caught a charge on the state. I caught a charge on Rikers Island too, but they wound up during time, they wound up dismissing. And I smacked him over some tree.
Oh.
And they cut him, they broke the skin of his eye. They charged me, they doing our weapon.
Oh.
And this year I caught another 2.5 to 5 on top of a 12.5 to 25, which made my bid of 15 to 30. Because I had cut it, you read it on the bus that I had cut the homie Bloody Rich, man. I'll never forgot that. Bloody Rich, little adolescent homie from Bazurke.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Bloody Rich, wherever you at.
Man, shout out to Bloody Rich, man. Wow.
And they convicted me for that, because I had shot the dude. I tried to pass the motherfucking rip off to my homie to put it up. My homie fumbled, but the police seen the movement for me to pass it off. So he said, yo, listen, drop the weapon. So I'm thinking the homie gonna hold me down, like don't let him get the weapon. The weapon in case the dude already shot.
Yeah.
He already bleeding nigga face open, he already shot.
Yeah.
Don't let him get the hammer, that's the case. Homie froze up on me. Hey, he dropped the weapon, you, right there, you. He threw the scalpel right down the bus shit. They came right back there, opened the gate, took the dude out that was cut, bandaged his face up. You know, quite naturally, they grabbed the weapon too, got it out the earrings.
Oh, man.
I was in court 5 days later in Clinton County. I copped out 19 days later after the actual shooting on the bus. How fast they had me. And I wasn't going to take Clinton County up there in Plattsburgh court to trial in that little racist incest town in the area. I was not going to do that. And really ruin my life. It was already ruined at that time. Just to put 2.5 more years on what I had. That shit was very good to make my bid 15 or 30.
Damn.
Out of that, I did 23. So I'm still got a little bit.
How did you feel the night before they told you to pack your shit up? It's time to hit the street. That night before, how did you feel, man? What was going through your mind at the time?
I really ain't believe it.
You ain't believe it. Thought they was styling on you.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. When I went to the Boardwalk gave me out of all people, the deplorable disservice this thing. To show you the mockery, they gave me an open date. Not a scheduled date for your release, an open date, meaning it's on your counsel. Whenever your counsel finish your field work and approve, you know, you got somewhere to go, and that's that.
Yeah.
We know you got somewhere to go. Whenever your counsel want to put process on approval, you going home. I was surprised when they came to get me because you know what an open date is. An open date is not no definitive date.
Right.
It can be Monday through Friday. Whenever the council process the paperwork, send it up to the superintendent.
Yeah.
And that senior council just do this on it.
Yeah. And
It's
that's
time
it.
to go.
All right, so roll them
That's
out.
right. They start getting your records, throwing that shit in garbage, whatever they do with it.
Yeah.
You about it. But I didn't believe it up to the last minute.
Yeah, you believe that shit. So hold on, you packing your shit up now.
I'm in a half empty cell.
In a half empty cell. You
Nah,
already
so I
gave
halfway
shit
kind of believe
Yeah,
it.
you was
Yeah,
like,
and then it's like I'm not gonna lie to you, it's crazy because it sounds crazy. A lot of people identify related to this. It's like every day, you know, the release paper, I'm just looking at it. I look at it,
keep
like,
checking, make sure that shit
then hold on,
the right
I'm making
shit.
sure I really cross my T's and dot my I's.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just playing the game on my mind.
Yeah.
I know that date is next week.
Right. Keep
I'm saying
opening
a
it.
typo.
Open that shit 5
No,
minutes
you
later.
saying no typo. You know how we do, you know? This is legitimate document. This is too good to be true.
Right.
A
So,
release.
yeah.
We got the paper turned and folded.
Open that shit back up again after that.
Now this shit ain't never leave my desk. It's
Never.
just on top of my TV.
I feel you, man. You want to keep that shit close. I ain't lose shit. There it go right there.
It was real when I was outside on the streets of Auburn, in the Auburn city block.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. It's
So the next morning come, and was it nighttime or morning? Morning time, right? All right, so morning, boom. You get up. You get up. You just sit halfway.
I ain't never go to sleep.
never.
You talking about get up what? I might have sat up if I was laying or sitting up 20 or something. I might have sat up. Yeah, sat up.
So your cell half empty.
Yeah. And that's how it left.
They fucking whoever want whatever take.
You know, we got a little eye spies on the gate. I have a little eye spy on the gate.
Yeah.
See, I know the draft officers from regular, transport officers over the facility. I looked at the gallery and said, well, I know the draft room officers. They only come to release and take you out of the facility, transportation. They came down to my cell. They had the little paperwork in their hand.
Yeah.
They stopped right in front of my cell.
Shit. It's real.
No, matter of fact, we didn't control the gates from up front. So by the time they got to my cell, it was already cracked. I already knew it was game time.
Game time. Alright.
Let me out, yeah.
Alright. Oh man, so when you outside the gate, what's the feeling? When you outside of the coming outside your house, when you come outside of the motherfucking facility, period, and you get that first fresh air.
Felt odd, strange, weird, bad, good, sour,
Mixed
sweet, all the
emotions.
same.
Mixed emotions. You wanted to get the fuck away from here as quick as possible.
That's
yeah. Haul ass. Don't look back. Lord.
And I had a ride, so that's why he come scoop me from Richmond.
That's love. Shout out to them. That's dedication.
Straight for the junk. It was an open date. Last minute preparation. Like, they let me go on it. I told them that night. They was like, what? We in Brick. You know what? I'm gonna call my boss for supervisor right now. I'm about to gas up. I said that's in the morning. They said no, we gotta start be there right in the morning.
We gotta start making moves now to be there for the morning, right?
Definitely love.
Yo, shout out to them, man, because you always need those good, reliable people in your corner at all times. You know what I'm saying?
And then the technology had everything great for me. I came out.
Yeah.
As soon as I was step out the facility, I noticed they gave me this little thick box. Now I identify as the phone in the box.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They give me the thick box. Do it. I change up and all that real quick. They go like, yo, here, it's your phone. I'm looking around, no lie, no bullshit. Got right here. Oh. I don't remember. I've been gone for a very long time. So I'm like,
what the fuck is this shit?
So when I do put it together, okay, this phone is in my lap. We already gone. We belong for New York, Brooklyn here.
Right.
I get the phone. You know how it's encased inside the thing. I had a hard time
putting that shit together.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
What the fuck going on?
With the people that's with me, they laughing. They like, we told you gonna get to this moment. They say you think you got problems now getting it out the thing.
Yeah.
Wait till you got to set it up and program it and go live. I'm like, go live? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I ain't know what the hell nobody was talking about. Until they set it up and went live and I start seeing people in these little small little
like,
spaces that I knew. Like, y'all know that one? I ain't seen her in a long time. Him, her. That's my cousin. That's my niece. This is my nephew. I was like, yeah. Yeah, but that's the social media and the technology is crazy.
It's dope, right?
We didn't know none of that, man. It's like a whole different universe. Just from 95.
Everything changed.
That's a long time ago, but it's not really that long. We didn't identify. We ain't had that. The world was at the tip of our hand.
Music, I want to ask you about, man. Was you into hip-hop music at all? Who was your favorite artist at the time when you went in and you know around? Let's start there. When you went in on the last bit, what was the hot shit before you went in?
Oh, Mobb Deep was infamous.
Yes. Yeah. Classic joint.
Smooth the Hustle.
Trigger the Gambler. Oh man. Only built for
MOP,
Cuban Links.
MOP, Raekwon the Chef, only built for Cuban Link. Biggie was his best style fly. He's just doing this thing.
Absolutely, man.
The music is beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
Pop.
How you?
Dre, Snoop. Come on, Doggy Style.
Man, Doggy Style. First album. First joint.
Doggy Style. Then you got the dudes from my way, Black Moon, Buckshot
Show. Oh my guys, man. Shout out to Duck Down, man.
Duck Down, Ruck and Rock and all that.
Rock and Rock, man. Rest in peace, Sean P. Word, man.
Sean P.
Yeah, man. Guys, y'all know them peoples, man. Rockness Monster.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy,
Smith and
man.
Wesson.
That's one of my favorite groups, man.
I listen to them right now.
Me too, man.
Soundboy back throw that
Soundboy Barrio, what? No, my shit, man. That shit, look, I'll be by myself.
How about fuck out? Dodgers?
Come on, man. You know the shit, man. With Spike when they had the
the Spike joint. Right there.
Come on, man. Classic shit.
Who got the props?
Who got the props?
So that's Franklin Avenue.
Oh, man, that's when niggas was getting whacked for transport backpacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when shit was real. Just because.
They didn't even want it. That's why you took it over and left it. Threw it across the street.
Yeah, man. You remember that time when, niggas was getting caught for stepping on nigga Jordans, man. Yeah. Huaraches and shit like that. Air Maxes and... It was real. It was really real.
Nah, before Huaraches.
Before Huaraches, right?
Yeah,
all that, it was getting real, man. People was definitely getting hit for some shit that is what, $10, $20 now. Fucking backpack back then, transport was like $150.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit, right? Now it's like $20.
But before Huaraches, I'm talking about back when they had the Barclays originally.
Both tracks definitely getting it on that. How you feel about the music now? Since you've been home, now I know it's been a crazy transition from those jewels to, I know we gotta change with the times, but I'm stuck in the 90s. I'm gonna keep it all the way gangster. It's very few of these new guys that I can vibe. You know what I'm saying? Can't really vibe with too much of these new guys like that. Well, you got any new artists that you like, that you can listen to?
I listen to all of them, but not too much of it all at one time.
Right.
It sound like a bunch of Dixie chicks. You know, you start playing track after track, it sound like a bunch of Dixie chicks trying to make a classic or something. Like it don't sound too good. Then
A lot of them
it's
sound
too
the same.
sing-songy. I want to hear something. I want to hear some crowd. I want to hear something more witty than simple syllables that sound the same.
Right.
Or a lot of dudes used to be. They got like extended, catchy ringtones. Like it's nothing but a bar. It's nothing but a phrase, which
Facts
they
a lot.
repeat over and over. Switch it, loop it, switch it, and all that. Here you go.
Yeah,
but
man.
you know that's what people like to hear. I like to hear something with more substance.
Nah, I feel you on that, man.
Let me hear you walk on the track. I don't want you sneak thief on the track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of cats be saved by their beats now. You
Yeah.
know, they don't really have too much to say, which takes away from the love of the music. But you know, I still do
I
my
appreciate
thing.
it all,
I appreciate it all because
appreciate it
you
all.
know they probably looked at us the same way. You know, back then, like man, fuck you niggas can't rap. What they talking about?
But
That
our
was the
music
shit to
sound
us.
good though, and
See,
it's time.
see, they think they feel the same way about their shit though.
No, they
You
don't.
know what I mean?
See,
They
our
don't.
music sounded better and it's timeless. Look how they reinvent the craft for this right here. Look at just the flows from say Lil Wayne, how he switched the flow in the game to say now down to say, you know, the Migos and all these. It's different.
Right.
It's very different, but it sounds the same.
Sure did.
So it's constantly evolving within itself. So it's not timeless. It's not gonna withstand time when it's constantly evolving within itself.
True.
So that's why everybody sounds the same because nobody's saying nothing different.
That's right.
It's just to a different beat.
That's a fact.
Then it's like the go-go bop mixed with hip hop, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You got today's gumbo that they're gonna buy and sell.
Right, putting it all in one
Yeah,
pot,
putting it all in
mixing
one
it
pot.
up. Yeah.
How
I know
you
the
want it,
shit.
how you go get it.
That's how they gonna
They
serve
gonna
it.
serve it.
Mm-hmm. So now, man, you know, you in the spot, you know, the non-trade gangsters is one of the biggest, well, if not the biggest set, New York City. How did you feel when you heard about it hitting the streets?
It was kind of unbelievable and unexpected. Even now, like, to go certain places and like, you got the children living that know their history, and it's vital that they do know their history. It's kind of amazing that I would know somebody, or somebody would know of me just through this when this all started.
Right.
It goes to show you that you can never sleep on what you think something is today versus
You know, one thing before I definitely want to hear more about the beginning, the genesis of this thing of ours. But before that, I just have to say that, you know, I not only do I thank you for, you know, taking time out to kick it with me, but I really appreciate brothers like you paving the way for me to do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so
Laying the red
so.
carpet down. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know, I was the baby of the pack, first generation New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? By that time, y'all was already up and, you know what I'm saying, doing y'all thing and all that. But I always pay homage to those that paved the way for me to be who I be, because it's like, y'all my big brothers that I looked up to. And
Simply
y'all
said
gave
for
me
you,
something that-
brother, there's no we without us.
That's
Simple
a
and plain.
fact.
There
Ain't no
could
me
be
without
no
you,
me
right.
without you and
Right.
no you without me.
That's a
It
fact.
ain't favorable. Without me, it wouldn't be you. Nah, it wouldn't be us without us. Simple.
Facts of life, man. That's
Cut
a
the
great way to
chase
put it.
and all that.
Word. That's
We
a
wouldn't
great
be
way to
nothing
put it.
without each other. Simple as that.
No doubt.
Not
Gangsta.
the big homie and the little homie. This one, no, each other together.
Facts of life. And I'm glad that you said that, because it's a lot of dudes that ain't nowhere near your status, man, that don't feel like that, and you know they display that, yo, I'm this, you know, but you humbly, yo, we a unit, we together, my nigga. It ain't no I'm this and you that. Nah, we one, and I salute you for that.
Yeah, because it's right here. It's apparent of what the overall, if they want to call it the mysterious mystique or the mysterious ingredients on what make us the whole concept of unity, bro.
Right.
Like UBN, the United Blood Nation, that is inclusive. You can't have one without the other. You can't have the U without the B without the N. It all goes together.
True indeed.
And each one of those, one is a vowel, two is a consonant that we form, that we build a culture and lifestyle on the east side over here, right?
Right.
All of those vowels, that one vowel and them two consonant, it includes unification and brotherhood. United Blood Nation.
Facts.
There's no reason for no misunderstanding as far as on us standing together and staying together for the right reason.
No doubt.
Unity is an umbrella within itself. We make the umbrella. So how could it be scattered and this part of the umbrella is this color, like this started this color? No, that's not how this thing started. And that's not. And I feel like we shouldn't lend the next generation a disservice by passing it on like this. That's like you passing on your child a nasty inheritance.
Right.
No, man.
Right.
Nah. Then we really lose.
True.
Then we really be curses in history.
True.
Like what they do that for? Or what was they there for?
Right.
What was the purpose?
Right. I mean, let me tell you, man. Since we've been putting these pieces of the puzzle together, I learned so much more shit that we had no clue about. Not only, even like how in New Jersey, our main war started with the Crips. Y'all didn't have the issue y'all had against the Kings and the Yetas. So when I heard about how y'all really didn't beef with the Keyways like that, that made me feel stupid than a motherfucker. Because I was like, damn, I'm going after another black man, another black woman, you know, not talking to certain guys and losing out on relationship because of a motherfucking color. You know what I'm saying?
But the piggyback off that is what you said, going after another black man or black woman. Okay, blood or not, our unity and our culture is supposed to be mandated regardless. Us as blood, we supposed to know more better.
Yeah.
And living it and showing it and spreading it to the people. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We know that. We supposed to know that more so than say if a person is not. But as a people, we gotta protect each other, we blood or not. Because the blood ain't just the people. We the vanguard of the people.
Right.
You know, so it ain't just about blood. You know, unification of blood as a people.
I feel, like I said, very fortunate to have brothers like yourself, brothers like Shaquille, Cold Red over there in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit down and talk with me, and people get to see y'all in a different light. Damn, it's way more to them than I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And I think that each time that we definitely put these puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, man, because it's too much falsehood, man. It's too much saturation, too much self-saturation, too much cockiness, it's just too much in a way, man, that need to be flamed down.
I don't feel like, my personal opinion, I felt extra, you know, privileged that y'all came to talk to me versus other certain, you know, podcast people, you know, platform, because I'm not hating on nobody or none of that, but
who could tell our story better than us?
Facts of life.
Who I owe the story to better? Well, I don't care if it's a bag or whatever attached. Who I owe my story to better than to us?
Right. Facts of life.
What better staple 40, 50 years now we ain't here? I want to leave our creative, historical content with us.
Us. That's the whole point of this shit. Word is bond.
They don't see it. They looking at views.
Right.
And a bag or a check. No. This is
no money.
We gonna live forever right here.
This is it right here.
We gonna live forever right here.
This is it. Facts of life. We was just talking about that. Shout out to Soda Smooth production behind the board.
We gonna live forever
you know
right
what I'm saying?
here.
We was talking about that shit fuck all the views, fuck the comments, fuck the subscription. We want them. That's cool. We accept them humbly.
That's not
but
the bottom line, though.
The bottom line is this is documented history. This is a brother that, you know, is a fucking major part of our history, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of others that you might not even heard about or know about.
That ain't come in the front.
That ain't come out. You know
They
what
might
I'm saying?
pass them every day.
Every day,
They might pass you somewhere on the Belt Parkway or something.
Yeah.
And then we out here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as though if they have history books and shit like that, and the Dutch settlers and the Englishmen and all that shit, you know what I mean? Why not have documented street
us.
history?
On
You know what I'm saying?
Especially when we the proper beacons to let a person know this because the earth revolves this way and it revolves one way. The power change might think that your life is going this way. The power change will make it go back. The power struggle yesterday could make the day better. It all depends on what you do.
Facts of life. Facts
Only
of
thing
life.
that spin one way and can't stop is the earth. It spins one way on this axis.
Word.
We got the power, decision. Stop. Our life revolve, spiral.
Sure, man. Sure. Now, I want to address a rumor that I heard about, man. I heard about once upon a time that you were so ferocious in the spot, man, that they labeled you as what they call a Bing Chan. Can you talk about that? Do you wish to elaborate on that, or you want to just leave that where it's at?
Yeah, we can elaborate.
Well, why would they call you a member of the Bing Chan, a great Bing Chan? What is that? Can you explain to the people?
Yeah, we was at war. That war was mean. I didn't enter the war. They thinking it wasn't mean, so I entered the war more meaner than others. It was vicious. It was long. And, you know, when you got extended war like that, and you are actually a good soldier in the field, you're going to have a lot of casualties.
Facts.
And me, I had a lot of casualties. Because I go always outthink a person. And see dudes talk a little bit too much.
Yeah.
While they talking and planning and plotting, I'm already banging them.
Right. Gotta react quickly. You know what I'm saying?
And I used to like to catch like a lot of music groups. I was doing shit that it might sound crazy. Yeah, it might sound crazy foolish, but I would literally leave out of one bullpen and act all like lamed out and intimidated and shy.
Yeah.
In the bullpen, Rickens, and act like timid and shy, no eye contact, you know.
Right.
Second they look up, 2 or 3 of them is wet already. You know, beat the shit out of 2 more. So, you know, that's how we was back there. That's a movie.
No doubt.
Like, how many you shot today? Oh, I shot 2. I shot 4.
Damn.
You know, and it was piling up.
Piling them up.
Yeah.
Piling them up.
And I was very, in that state, as I would any state, especially at that time, very angry. And I was attracted to violence. Like, my aim was...
It was a rush.
Yeah, it was a rush. My aim was, when I clap you, I'm not going to try to clap you once.
Yeah. Man. Damn.
Some people just be satisfied with giving a guy a scar that big.
Yeah.
Or that big.
Yeah.
Nah.
You want to go for
Yeah.
it. Is that, was that you that they called the butcher, man?
Bad Bazurke.
They called you the fucking butcher. I said, man, that nigga there, boy. I heard about your ass, man. Heard he was eating them motherfuckers up.
That came from I'm not glorifying.
How I mean, like, what was the first time that you ate somebody, man? Was that by them oppression, or you just felt as though fuck that? It's time for me to start oppressing some of them.
No, it wasn't neither. It was the time we just started banging against oppression with the violence that they was doing to us.
Right.
You can't sit peaceful and still while your enemy is violent and wild.
Facts
You're
of life.
going to lose.
Facts of
So
life.
you got to be sometimes just as malicious and ruthless as your enemy. And as I said earlier in this podcast, the Latin King Nation, Ghetto, especially when they put together like we did, it's just different than we won. And we faded both of them.
Right.
But you know when the Latin Kings and the Ghetto join together, it's a very difficult force to deal with. As far as the opposition in prison.
Right.
Very, yeah, man, because you can't tell which one from which. So you liable to walk into it, cut over behind the back of your head, stab in your back all at the same time. You look, and you're not able to separate the kings from the other.
Yeah.
You know, it's very treacherous, and mean, bloody.
What was the craziest shit that you not necessarily done but seen in the time that you was incarcerated?
Craziest thing I seen.
Like the wildest shit that you have ran across.
I don't think I have a top one. I think I got the top.
Top five. Give us one of those. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too critical, but I know you've seen some shit. So, is there any one of them episodes that that come to mind immediately? Yeah, speak on it.
Yeah, this is 1998. Attica, man, Attica Box. BSI, giving this flower.
Rest in peace.
BSI, Ralph Flo, and SI had a little beef in the system. And, it popped over Attica with SI cut Ralph Flo. And like I said, we was in a box at time, very rough time.
Yeah.
And I watched the homicide of an inmate. They covered it up. Of shit towards me. They covered it up. They made it appear to the administration, the medical unit, and everybody, like this guy actually killed us. And they didn't kill us. They actually choked us. The same incident that everybody can remember on that touchdown in the movie Do the Right Thing when the officer Raheem, when he grabbed him, locked the baton around his neck, had the other one, and squeezed. I watched an officer do that. While you had 3 or 4 other obese, racist, rural, Republican dick suckers sitting on them and holding them down and putting shackles on them to immobilize them. And I watched the officer, the same guy, it's a different calendar, get behind the guy with the baton, but then it's time he did carry the baton. And stopped letting him carry the baton. He got wild.
Choking niggas the fuck out.
Yeah, I actually got behind him. I actually seen him when they bought the guy. When they bought him, because they might have seen like, he was already gone. Anybody that watched that between their gate or was close enough to zero in from the cell location and see it could identify that man was gone. There's no way human flesh, I don't care how dark or light you is, gonna turn that kind of a illish purple. Like the oxygen was just denied so long that your skin just changed a whole different color. Like this is what we need to be talking about right here. Like dudes looking to see a meal, but they never seen a man killed right there in front of you, bro. And you want to help, and you can't do nothing. All I could do, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. All I could do is yell, "Yo, fuck off him! Get off him! Oh, get the fuck off him!" And all I did was just breeded a more of a beast inside of a beast.
You know what?
Because I looked at that, and I said, if this man could disconnect and kill a man in here right in front of me, another man could disconnect and do the same thing to me, and I'll never make it home to my family. Now I'm heavily on the way. Now I dare you, if I cross the enemy, hit your head and destroy you. I'm gonna try to eat your toenail to your eyeball, your everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm
going to my family.
Yeah, that's it. And I watch him to this day. Whoever that man, whoever that prisoner's family is at, whatever story they done spent since 1999 until right now, what I'm telling you, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. They probably giving him his flowers thinking that this prisoner who had unfortunately happened to be somebody's loved one actually sat in the prison cell and hung himself. Because you gotta realize the same way how police officers shoot one of us out here and say, oh, we thought he had something on him when it's really just an emblem on your shirt or your ring that shines or whatever.
Sandwich.
Yeah, sandwiches. Or a cell phone like they did Amadeo Diallo up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Shot him, his cell phone ricocheted, the rest of his cell phone he shot him. That same concept happens out here. Because what they say finally is what it is. And if you got a record and you already consider a social undesirable, they're gonna believe it, homicide justified, next. Run that shit like a child line. Next. Same thing. What the authorities say is true. What we say is a lie. And unfortunately, the conscious society started to proceed otherwise.
We gotta go with the speed.
With the innocent projects, all these convicts that was convicted innocently that did all this time. You know, like shout out to Mario Machete too.
Word, shout out to Mario Machete. Word.
Innocent.
Big homie. Yo, man, that's crazy. You know, my brother, you know, we'll sit out here and talk forever, man. Your motherfucking, the way how you was telling everything, I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I can vividly see the shit, the picture that you painted.
But it wasn't only painful on both sides. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna speak for all of us. Whether we all saying it right here, lined up in unison, or we singing it on the track or whatever, but it was painful on both sides. Although it was painful as far as our adversary and how we dragged them and really just washed on the faith to our way, to respect our way. It was also painful on our side too, as far as us. A lot of us are doing a lot. Me, Shaquille, others. Numerous names. Endured a lot. Same thing with our brothers that was out here in the front line out here.
Shout out to them.
The homies that was out here in the front line. We gotta get them they do too, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Have to get them they do too.
I definitely respect and love them, you know.
The yous, that's the y'all. That's y'all.
That's
Yeah,
right.
y'all was out here, we was there. But again, there's no me without us. Ain't no you and I, it's us.
Absolutely. We all, you know. Face the music.
Definitely salute to all those that held it down, man. Even though we right here, it's us, man.
Always.
All we got is us.
That's it, man.
Like clean up this content, man, and start walking like G's we are, man. Or like the living legends we are, like the great legends that we are, man. And we got the influence to do it. The same way we sit here and cam up and people listen and they want to mimic for the negative. Let's sit here and project them on the positive. We don't, like I said, we don't need no police, need hoods. We out here.
Right.
And don't let us start flaming up and let us know where we at. Make ourselves really visible. Right. And then we gonna start creating little patches where we want to know the violence to stop at and what we want done in these communities by these, not just us, but these community representatives, these councilmen, we gotta make them accountable.
Hell yeah.
And we should make them listen to us. We the voice of the people out here.
Really though, they listen to us.
But they ain't gonna listen unless we start doing something to make them pay attention. Something more than what we've been doing. Because they definitely know who we are. They know we out here.
Oh yeah.
It's just like they sitting like this way now. Okay, let's see when they get it together.
Right.
Yeah, they arguing on they on.
Yeah.
Let's see, but they definitely watching us. This could be bigger than YouTube. It could be bigger than anything. This could be an epic. This could be an HBO.
Right.
We can take our story. We can take it and put it everywhere. Especially if it's humbly centered and it's humbly produced and it's humbly given to the people.
Without a doubt, man. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Any people out there that you want to shout out?
Like once it's juice, it's like the light of the
It's too
right
many.
there.
It's too many.
It's too many. And then I don't want to start naming. Then they
Yeah.
yo.
Yo, you ain't named
Yeah,
me.
soon as I get upstairs, people was go, yo, why you? A word? What I did to you? Like, get out of here. That shit. Like.
What about these youngsters coming up now, man? Before we get up out of here and shit, man. I'll talk to you all day. Plus, I got some shit that I got to talk to you about off the motherfucking camera. You know what I'm saying? But yo, kids that's coming up now that's thinking about gangbanging, man. What message would you have for them? I mean, I'm talking about the lost young guys, the ones that ain't got no, they just want to jump on board. They don't know what the fuck going on. They want to belong, like how we want to belong, but they're going about things the wrong way. What message you got for these guys?
The message to them is, before you start wanting to gang up or gang bang or gang, or however they call it and phrase it and flip it and bounce it today, right? Identify your own individual purpose first. Because how you gonna join if you don't have a purpose and a cause of what you're doing for yourself? How you gonna help me if you don't know your own?
Facts of life.
Start there first. Start with yourself first.
Facts of life. That's the best advice.
And then start thinking about association. A lot of association is
true.
Whether it's on YouTube or in real life, you just can't talk to and be seen with certain people.
That's a fact.
Because you're gonna be reflected off of them.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You know, it's not illegal or nothing wrong with being in the gang. I tell people all the time, even Jesus was in the gang, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The army is a gang. You know, I have a song called Everybody Bangs. That's what it is. Everybody bangs.
But it's what you doing with the
It's what you do. It's not what you do. It's what you do.
What you do with the organization.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Just
yeah, you know how easy it is to turn like when you talking about sets, like you say talking about sets and non-trade, GKB, all this other stuff, and how the only legal component that'll make it into a violation of law or RICO or anything that fall on the side of that side of the law. We can stop that by simply just incorporating these change, making it to we incorporate making it to.
Absolutely.
Non-trade, NTG Inc., GKB Inc. Start doing something. Now we can start freaking it from home.
Oh yeah, they ain't ready for that. But we gonna definitely take it there.
Yeah.
You know, I have dreams
Incorporate
about that.
it if we want to. We can start making merch. You can put a barcode.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Barcode.
Oh yeah.
That would be close.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You see this thing, these things sitting behind us right
That'd
here.
be our New York City salary cap right here. You don't
shit.
represent this if you're not supporting this for the right reason. That way, we'll be the only ones out here like this.
That's right. That's right. And why not have a 401k plan or something like that?
Yeah.
Some type, you know what I mean?
GKBA.
You know what I mean? You
Why
in
not?
industries or something
Watch
like
that
realtors.
shit on the barometer and stuff on NASDAQ. Watch that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Watch
You
that
know
shit
what I
trade.
mean?
Boom.
Yeah, that's big thing.
Yeah,
right
worldwide.
there.
That's what we talking about. We know worldwide.
Because you gotta look at it, right? It's only gonna grow and grow. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. It's only to get better and better. So we have to prepare the future for the youngsters.
And it's right here on the horizon.
Yeah, it is. It's right here.
We older homies in this, man.
No doubt.
We older homies in that. I see them all the time. The little babies out here, man.
Right.
They looking good, but they're not living good.
Say that shit.
That's the
Say
truth.
that shit. That's the truth, man.
They looking good, but they're not living good.
Slow down. Just be you, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Be
try
patient,
to
man.
You can't outdo niggas, so don't try.
It ain't about outdoing. You know, the whole thing is ain't nothing wrong with struggle, man. Struggle cultivates to make you strong up. Where you can struggle less.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with struggle. Some of our greatest
Shout out
came
to
up
my
with
guy Struggle too.
Yeah. Some of our greatest unrolled some struggles.
Yeah. That's a fact, man.
How you gonna know success without failure?
That's right.
So accept it.
That's right. That's right. All right, my brother, I appreciate your time, man. Anything else that you want to say to people before we get up out of here?
Just shout out my little group, man.
Shout out to all the real. Appreciate y'all tuning in once again with the man, with the big homie Bad Vibes. You know what I'm saying? Non-trade gangsters, man. We had another episode, Ghetto Stars Podcast. Man.